you can live a life in flow where your deepest heart's desires become reality. At Set2Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Good morning, everyone. Some of you are probably driving. Some people are probably heating baby bottles, who knows what. But welcome to Set to Love. One more morning. We are on our second week. So excited about this. And we are working on what are the steps to live in flow for today, Wednesday. And our question, Eva, before I'd like you to give us a recap of the week, the question is, how do I determine what work I need to do to live in flow?
That's a great question. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, this week we've been talking a lot about how do you create that flow, specifically in your career. Monday was what is your why? Like, what is the motivation? Do you have to have passion in your career? We talked all about that. Tuesday was what's in your way. So what's keeping you from living your best life? And today it is what is today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah. What is your work? What is the work that you have to do? That is correct, Sam. I'm losing track of time
already. The steps that we need to live.
What are the steps that you need to take to live in flow? So what is the work that you have to do? There's always work involved.
And then the question was, just so we're clear, the question was, how do I determine what to do to live in flow?
Mm-hmm. How do I determine the work I need to do so that I can live more in flow? Yeah. What's the work you need to do? Well, I sat down and I started thinking about this. I started thinking, what is the work that someone would need to do? Like, what are the steps that someone would need to take? And do you have some thoughts around that? I've got some notes. What are some of the things that pops into your mind first when you think about that, Shelley?
Mostly, I feel that we need to get out of our own way. The first step is just to have a positive attitude and know that with small steps every day and just to do something, that's the biggest thing, because you think even us starting this podcast, we talked about it for way too long before we actually really did something. So even ourselves, you learn and you grow and you realize when you just take the first step and the commitment to making a change, then something happens, and every day it just kind of evolves. I can't believe we are on week 2. I mean, Before you know it, it's going to be week 40, and who knows how many people we will have been able to help and the guests that we're going to see. So it's really exciting to start something new and that's what comes to mind for me. Get out of your own way, get up, do something, make a commitment. You can do this. You can do this.
Yeah. And as we say, lay bricks every day towards that path. What is it that you want to create? There is work involved. There's a difference, though, that I want people to think about, distinguishing work from resistance. So when there's work that needs to be done, even when it's hard or even when you feel challenged, especially when you feel challenged, you should feel challenged. If the work is too easy, you're not pushing yourself, and there's more that you could be doing or more ways that you could be growing. However, there's a difference from doing the work and feeling like it's contributing to something, or doing the work and feeling this resistance. I think a lot of the things that need to happen when you are creating your life in flow is that you sit with how you feel about doing something. So let's take, for example, Project Kindle and the nonprofit. The thing I like the least is grant reports and writing grants. However, I don't hate it. I will do it because the outcome and what I get from it is so rewarding. But if I hated doing it every single day and I had to do it every single day, which luckily I don't, um, you would really have to sit with yourself and think, is this the kind of life that I want? There was actually, they were hiring a grants coordinator at the local community college here. And I thought, do I want to go work and help raise money for the junior college? And I thought, that's the thing I like the least. Why do I want to be in charge of all the grants going in and out of this school when that's the thing I like the least about my job, even though I'm really good at it? So it's really important for you to sit with what it is that you're doing and how do you feel about what it is that you're doing? Does
The
it
thing
feel
is, though, Eva, not to interrupt you, but I do think it's still important what you did do when it came to that coordinator job. You did look at it. You were open to seeing what was out there, what the other opportunities, what people you were going to meet. So, just because you don't think, I mean, it's like even Brittany getting the job that she got, at first she didn't think she was going to go that way, but then things evolved. So I still feel stay open, see things through to the end, and you just
yes,
never know, right? I mean,
I
that job obviously wasn't that coordinator job, but I do love that you were, you know what, let me just see. Maybe there's something in there that's for me. I'm going to try and whatever.
mhm.
So I feel,
Like I said, laying those bricks, right? It's like you look at all your opportunities and you lay the bricks down and you start working on those things. A great place to start, and whenever we start coaching someone or working with someone, one of the first things I like to give them is the Wheel of Life assessment, which we have a copy of here. And if anyone, it's a whole sheet. It looks like this. It talks about it at the bottom, which I'll add in the descriptions a link so you can get yourself a copy of this. But one of the best things, and Shelly, if you remember, we filled this out when we
yeah,
went on our Grand Canyon hike. We hiked rim to rim, which was a story for another day. However, it's really important to know where you're at. So life isn't just about having a career in flow. It's, are your finances in flow? Is your personal growth in flow? Is your health? Are you taking care of your health? What about your family life, your relationships, your social life, your attitude, and of course, your career? So, this is a little model pie that you would fill out from a scale of 1 to 10. You look at each of those areas and you say, do I feel like I've got flow in this area? Am I fulfilled? Do I feel like I'm moving towards filling this up and feeling satisfied? And the areas that you're low in, those are the areas that you want to start to focus on, because one area could be really, let's say your health, let's say your career is amazing and your relationships are amazing and all these things are amazing, but your health is a 1 or a 2. Your life is going to be out of flow. It's important that you start to look at that aspect. Everything else is going okay. So let's get up in the morning and let's start doing some sort of 5-10 minute exercise or workout, or let's stop drinking soda or coffee every single day, or eating all that junk food. So it's really looking at the different aspects of your life that maybe feel out of flow and knowing what your work is, what areas. Be real with yourself, be honest with yourself. Becoming self-aware is so important, and knowing how you can establish that flow for yourself a little bit more.
that wheel was really hard. When I had to fill that out, that was really hard. And when you say be honest, there was parts of it that I'm like, oh, is it really that low? And I also don't want people to get overwhelmed. If you're honest with yourself, you can't change what you don't really recognize. So if you just fill it out, no one has to see it. It's just between you and the paper. And
Yep.
don't get overwhelmed if there's more than one area that we need to work on. It's just, then kind of dissect it. So let's say you had two things that you really were low in and they were important to you, then I would write in that little area too of suggestions to yourself. If it's health, start walking in the morning for a half an hour, or even start with 10 minutes. And then do other areas. If you're in your marriage and you're arguing, maybe take a marriage class together or do something fun in your marriage. The most important thing that you said in that was to be honest, because
Mhm.
honesty is the best policy with everything anyway. And you can't lie to yourself. It's never going to work. You'll never have flow.
and give yourself grace. I mean, isn't life isn't about filling up that entire pie and having everything be perfect. That's never going to happen. I mean, that does not exist. When we talk about flow, imagine that even around that circle, it's a little bit of waves. There's flows, there's areas that are going to be really strong and that things feel really in alignment and you're doing really great. And then there's going to be areas that feel a little bit low. So just being aware of it, offering yourself love and grace and going like, okay, I can do a little bit better at that. I think I'm going to take this one baby step today. I'm going to lay this one brick in this one area. And then you can feel good about that because when you can just start laying bricks every day in the areas that you really want to improve in, you will look back and see an entire path that you created in 2 weeks and 3 weeks and in 2 months and 6 months. So it's really about being honest with yourself, being aware of how you feel in those situations, and then deciding what little tiny movement can I make to improve in this area so it doesn't feel overwhelming and so you can stay committed to it. It's just for me, flow is really about being content and whole in the moment that you're in, each moment that you're in it. So if
When
something's coming your way and it feels heavy and it feels crazy and it feels overwhelming, just about breathing and being with it and saying, what is the work I need to do right now so that this doesn't feel so out of alignment and this can feel, I can have a little bit more love and a little bit more openness around whatever this is. And it's this opportunity, this experience is here for you to learn and grow. Everything is here for you to learn and grow and evolve from.
when you taught me at the very beginning, as friends, and you're writing your book, and I started introducing flow in my life. It is a process, but what's amazing that happens is the longer you start to try to change any of these things and put flow into it, it becomes your mindset. It just is automatic now. So when I'll get into a situation, not even focusing on anything, you start to feel like you want to have more flow because you're recognizing all these things that are changing in a positive way. So it just becomes automatic. You don't really have to set out time or make a point. The things that we're teaching people right now are things that we've actually done ourselves. And I just find myself thinking more positive, feeling like knowing what it feels like to have flow in my life. And that just feels better. How I don't just like lose it completely anymore. If I got stressed or whatever, it's just I know that that's just crazy town and that's not going to be worth it.
I
So
love
that's what I
that.
want to encourage people. Start, slow, but as it builds up and it gets better and better and better and better. And even to this day, I'm still learning flow.
Me too. I mean, are we all? Because the piece of the pie that you're not good in and that you feel low in is probably a lifelong growth and lesson. There are things that might just come so easy to you. Maybe you're just someone who has so many relationships, you're great at them with your family, with your kids, with your coworkers, your boss, just something that comes so easy for you, but maybe health isn't, or maybe finances are super easy, or maybe they're not. Whatever piece of that pie you're trying to create more flow in, just know it's a lifelong journey. And the more you can stay out of crazy town around that thing. So let's say finances, and then your bills show up and it's a stack of bills and do you go to crazy town? Do you go to that, oh my gosh, I can't figure this out, and you take it out on everyone else? Or do you just sit with it and go, okay, what am I going to do about this? What can I handle? What's in my control? What is not? What steps do I need to take so I don't end up back in this position again? It's really just being rational, calm, breathing through it, being aware of how it makes you feel, pondering what steps you need to take to help create more flow and less resistance in that piece of your pie. It's really self-awareness, and going back to what our guest last Friday talked about, Paul, truly self-awareness is so key to discovering your flow, really being aware of who you are, what your strengths are, and what your weaknesses are, and loving yourself, all of it, all of your strengths and all of your weaknesses.
Yay, I like that. This is a great way to start today. Positive
Beautiful.
thinking. Yes.
Well, Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
another
you. What's up
episode.
for tomorrow? What are we talking about tomorrow?
Tomorrow is what is your worth? The question tomorrow is I have fear around taking the steps toward my dream job. How can I get past my fears of not making enough money, not being good enough, or confident in actually making this actually work? So getting through my fear to flow is tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Remember, the description or the PDF for the Wheel of Life will be down in the descriptions below. Here's ways to contact us: Set2 Love Podcast at gmail.com. You can visit us on our Patreon page, patreon.com/Set2Love, where all of our extra bonus content is on there. Thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow. Love you so much.
Bye, everybody. Make it a great day.